guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about drugstore makeup and mostly just face makeup, just the base. I've seen kind of it going around on TikTok, people doing like drugstore starter kits and recommendations on best drugstore products to go to if you need like to start out or like replenish your makeup bag and you're on a budget. And I figured I haven't done like an affordable makeup, like a dedicated video to affordable makeup in a while, so I thought this would be a fun one to do. I've never done this topic before, so I figured I would kind of just go over like my top face products from the drugstore if I had to start from scratch, the products that I would grab that I think are worth it and basically do their job very well. So that is what we're going to be doing today. I am wearing all of the products on my face right now. My eye makeup is not drugstore, but we're only talking about base products today. So my eye makeup is a combination of Natasha Denona's Safari and Bronze palette. So my eye makeup is Natasha Denona, except for my winged liner is L'Oreal. And my lashes are House of Lashes. And my brows are also not drugstore, they are Benefit. So my lips are always drugstore because you guys know the L'Oreal Color Riche Matte Zip Lip Liner is my jam, but my lipstick is Urban Decay Safe Work. So that is the other products outside of what we're going to be talking about in this video, but everything else is on my face. So if you guys would like to see my recommendations for a drugstore starter kit or just my favorite top rated products at the drugstore for your base makeup, then keep on watching. Okay, so I'm a must prime kind of girl. I feel like you either prime or you don't, right? I definitely prime. I do not ever put foundation on without primer. It's just my personal preference. So I have two definite standouts at the drugstore. The first one is L'Oreal's Infallible Glow Lock. It says that it's an illuminating primer. I don't find it to be illuminating as much as it is hydrating. And I live in the desert and it's dry AF, and so this one is a favorite, especially in the summertime, because like my skin just looks nice and hydrated, I feel. Does it actually lock my foundation in? I don't think I've ever actually tested the longevity of it, but I really just, my makeup always looks good when I wear this, like always. So it's just, it says that it's long wear, it says that right on it, but it's just one that I go back to over and over again since I think it launched like 3 years ago or something. I love it. I've been through like 3 of them, and you know, I switch off and obviously I try other primers and stuff, but this one is like one of my top rated of all my primers, like including high-end primers. This one is definitely, and the lights are like kind of washing it out, but this one is definitely a favorite. Unfortunately, L'Oreal is not cruelty-free, and I don't claim to be loyal to one camp or the other, mostly because I just do my job. Personally, I would prefer if everyone would just be cruelty-free. I'm not really about it. Just wish that they would take it out of the equation so we don't even have to think about it. It just is. We're just all cruelty-free, you know? So the other primer, you guys probably already know, it is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty. This is such a great substitute for the Tatcha Silk Canvas, which was my ride or die favorite primer for several years, and then this one came on the scene and I was like, thank you, Jesus, that this is actually good, because it's $8 and the Tatcha is like $52. Huge price jump. And this one doesn't last as long as Tatcha, as you can see. Your girl needs a new one. But this one doesn't last as long as Tatcha, but it does the job. You know what I mean? Like, I think it looks great, personally. For foundation, there's a lot of foundations at the drugstore that are good. You've got the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. I prefer the original. You've got CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made, which is one of my favorites. I have it right here. You also have the L'Oreal Pro Glow. I have the darker shade on hand because I actually use it to darken any foundations that are too light for summer. I actually take this, a drop of this, and it does the job. But it's such a good formula. But I would have to say, if I have to pick one drugstore foundation that is just the best at the drugstore, that is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. Also, the Maybelline 24-Hour Superstay is really good too. If you want a cruelty-free version, I would go for the CoverGirl, because this one is so good. But this is my absolute favorite for the finish and the wear time and how well it plays with other products. Like, I'm really just like loving my face makeup right now, and this just always looks beautiful. It just does. Disclaimer, when I reviewed this, I hated it. When I did a first impression review, I hated it. But I reviewed it in the wintertime. This foundation, for whatever reason, does not play well on my skin in the winter. And this past winter, I did try it a couple times, and it didn't wow me as much as it does right now. And it's definitely like a weather thing for me. Like, it's seasonal. So like in the summertime, I feel like this foundation looks flawless on me. In the winter, not so much. I didn't hate it this winter, but I didn't love it either. Every time I wore it, I was just like, meh. It's just one of those things. And it has solely to do with where I live right now, which, you know, there's nothing I can really do about. But this foundation is excellent. I love it. I think it's really good. It plays as well as a high end, in my opinion. For bronzer, there's a couple of bronzers at the drugstore that are great. And, you know, the drugstore has a ton of good makeup these days. Like, so when I was going through picking, I was like, fuck, there's a lot of good shit at the drugstore. So you can't go wrong, really. Like, there's just so many good products. But if I had to pick one, I would go with the Rimmel Sun Bronze Bronzer. I have a backup. And I did this video also on TikTok, and I showed the Pretty Perfect one. Right now it's like up in a drawer and I'm being lazy. But this one is the Rimmel Sun Bronze, what is it called? The Waterproof Bronzing Powder in Sun Bronze. There's like 3 shades. This is Sun Bronze. I love this because it's waterproof. That's like my #1 favorite thing about this, aside from the fact that it's $4. 4-0. And I think it rivals Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Like, I think it's just as good, honestly. And way cheaper, because Physicians Formula is like $14. And this one is $4. You can get it at Walmart. I don't know where else you can get Rimmel, but I know at Walmart they have it. And you can get it online. And I just love it so much. It's what I have on now. It's just like such a good color. I don't know, I just love it. And I can wear it like any time of the year, but I definitely pull it out mostly in the summer because it's waterproof. And right now it's 106 degrees outside today, which isn't even as hot as it usually is in July, but you know, having waterproof makeup is pretty important to me. And you know, powders typically will melt off pretty quickly, but this one actually does hold up. And I did a video last summer on my channel that was putting my waterproof products to the test. I forgot what I exactly called the video, but I did a full face of waterproof makeup, including this bronzer, and I went out in like 115 degrees and did cardio. And then came back and showed you guys my makeup. So this bronzer did its job. I've tested it. It's amazing. For blush, I had a tough time with this one. There's a lot of good blushes at the drugstore. I narrowed it down to 3 different ones just to give you options. I didn't do this with anything else, but for blush, I did. I don't know why. Man, I have this goddamn fan on. I have ruined like 3 videos because I accidentally filmed them with this fan on. So if you can hear that in the first part of this video, I'm so sorry. It's just really hot in here and I have a fan and my mic just picks it up like crazy. Anyway, the show must go on. So back to blush. So I would say for price point and color, my favorite is the Rimmel Maxi Blush and the shade is Third Base. I love this color. I love this blush. It is so good. Is it waterproof? No, it just is. Lightweight powder blush gives cheeks a burst of color that lasts all day. So it doesn't say it's waterproof, but it says it lasts all day. But it's beautiful. I love it. I have it on my top shelf. I reach for it all the time because I love the color. It just goes with everything. Like, this is my type of blush color. I lean peach coral with my blushes. I don't really do pink hardly ever. I'm not really a cool tone blush kind of person. I like warm blushes. It's so interesting because I like cool tone lipsticks, warm tone blushes. I like a nice neutral bronzer, but I can lean either way. I'm just weird. I like warm tone eyeshadow. I don't know. But anyway, I love this one. And then, of course, you can't go wrong with Milani's Luminoso. I mean, it's a tried and true, beautiful blush, awesome color, finish is gorgeous. It's a classic. And then the one I'm wearing right now, this one is from L'Oreal. It's Blush Please in the shade Blushin' in Saint-Tropez. And this one does have a tiny bit of a sheen to it, but as you can see, it's not too crazy. But I love this color, again, into the peachy corals. And I think it's just like a good summer shade. You know, it's a good summer blush. I would wear this all year round, but it's a good summer blush. I think it looks good on a tan. I don't know if I look tan on camera or not. I can't decide. I feel like I need some self-tanner, but also on camera, in my monitor, I kind of look tan, which is weird because in my bathroom this morning, I was like, damn girl, you need some self-tanner. My legs are really, really white. But anyway, so either one of these blushes, and I feel like these shades kind of are similar. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of similar. The Rimmel one is definitely matte, and this one has a sheen. So, I mean, depending on which one you prefer, the Rimmel one's probably more affordable, I would guess. And I don't know if this was a limited edition. I don't know. I know this came out last year, but they're both great. I forgot concealer. Who is she? Why? I don't know. I did. The concealer I picked, and there's 2 that I love at the drugstore. This one, though, I picked as the go-to because it is $5, and this is the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer. Actually, the other one, which is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus, is like $4 or $5 as well. But this one lasts forever. It's self-setting, and I mean, it performs like a high-end concealer. This is the best concealer. I mean, it's the best product e.l.f.'s ever done. It's just so good. And I feel like this just raised the bar in terms of drugstore concealers, because I feel like drugstore concealers never really quite did it, you know? They were like good. I remember the Maybelline Age Rewind being like all of the rage when I first like started getting into YouTube. And I look back on that product now and I hate it. Don't like it. Looks good when it first goes on, but like it performs like shit. Creases, it's just a hot mess. This one doesn't, and it self-sets. So today I was filming some TikToks and I applied this and I didn't want to put powder on right away. And I had gotten up and I went and did some other things and I came back, and that's the thing with this. You have to blend it out fast. Work in sections. Do not put it all over your face and then start blending out because it will dry down and you won't be able to blend it. So that is one thing you have to know about it, but that's actually kind of a good thing because it sets down and it locks itself in. So you know that it's going to last a long time. And if you are on the drier side, you won't need to powder because it does self-set. So like I just, you know, like to set right under here regardless. But when I came back without powder on, I had no creasing. And I don't even know how long it was after that I then continued my makeup and I didn't have any creasing. So I just love this. I think it's such a good concealer, but the Wet n Wild one is awesome as well. And lastly, but not least, is highlight. Now, my absolute favorite drugstore highlighter is limited edition. So I'm going to tell you what it is, but also I have a backup that isn't limited edition. Same brand. So my favorite highlighter from the drugstore is by far the Bretman Rock Wet n Wild collaboration. This freaking highlighter. So there's two. There is a golden champagne and there's like a red, like a reddish bronze. The reddish bronze is way too dark for my skin tone and it's kind of like glittery. So I really like it for the eyes. I would never put that on my face. But this one, and it's called Lioness, it is finely milled, so it doesn't draw any attention to like texture or anything, but it just looks so wet on the skin in the best possible way. Like it gives your skin like the most beautiful sheen. And this is their loose powder formula. But because it's limited edition, and I really don't know if you can get it anymore, which they need to re-release. They need to make this permanent because it's just freaking amazing. They're regular loose highlighters. These are the loose highlighting powders. You get quite a bit more product in here than in the Bretman Rock one. But this one is I'm So Lit. And that's the one that I'm wearing on my face right now. But they perform in a very similar way. They're very, very like there in your face. But they're not glittery and they're not drawing attention to texture or fine lines or anything. They look so beautiful. This brow is just playing me right now. Yeah, they look so good. And every time I have one of them on, usually it's this one, but every time I have them on, people ask me, like, what is that highlight? And before this came out, I was a Pixie highlight kind of girl. Pixie makes some beautiful highlighters. You cannot go wrong with Pixie highlighters. But if I had to pick one right now, I would go with Wet n Wild because it's a little more affordable and it's beautiful. And this one you get so much. You will never run out. This is so much product. So much and so good. Alright you guys, so that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite drugstore products are. If there were any that I didn't mention that you swear by that I should check out. Or maybe I have checked them out, but you think they're better than my picks. I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts on this selection. Are there any products you haven't tried that you're interested in trying? So leave me a comment down below. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you never miss when I upload a video. You can follow me on social. My handle's @GLAMLATTE. And don't forget the Glam Latte Beauty Podcast is on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, CastBox, and iHeartRadio. All those details are in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
I just wanna hold you. I just wanna look into